Alright guys, welcome to the 72 DPI Summer Channel Update. We've got some good news. We've got some stuff to kind of talk about the past couple months. And we've got some good news, and then we got some bad news. A little bit of both on both ends of the spectrum here. So first thing to kind of go over some of the past few months creating content and gaining subscribers and things like that. All is on the up and up. Really do appreciate all the subscribers, all the comments, all the discussions in chat, both on Facebook Live, on Twitch, and then also on Mixer. Really appreciate all you guys who come out and watch the shows each and every week. It's very humbling. I can't express how much I appreciate it. Even for those of you that don't consider yourself gamers, coming out and just supporting myself, I really do appreciate that, and the channel any way you possibly can, even if that's just simply by tuning in, whether you like the content or share the video or anything like that. At the very minimum, just tuning in, I appreciate that. For those of you that do share and like and comment and join in the chat, that's greatly appreciated as well. And then the subscribers, of course, thank you from the bottom of my heart. So while we are still a very, very, very small channel, we did hit 47 subscribers. I wasn't able to complete the goal I'm assuming by the end of June I won't be able to complete the goal of 100 subscribers. So that kind of leads me into what we're gonna be going forward in the future. But I do want to say, making the Ball and Chain podcast, that's been kind of like our mainstay podcast we're going on 230 episodes, so over 10 years of recording that content, and there were some hiatuses in there, and there were some once a month, twice a week, once a week, back and forth kind of thing. So that was kind of like our mainstay, and then we broke off in this past year and created the Mana Drain podcast. So we kind of separated the Ball and Chain podcast away from Magic the Gathering because it started taking up so much of the content, so much of the time in that podcast. So we gave it its own show. And that's gone through quite a bit of change. Magic Vice and I started that about a year and a half ago or so, and that that was a lot. That was a kind of our next big show, really, having a different host on and coming up with Magic content every week. And then schedules conflicted, and Nick wasn't able to make it to the podcast or whatever, and then I brought my son on. We had some fun and laughs and things like that, and then eventually school kind of takes precedence over over podcasting and things like that, so he unfortunately could not continue doing it, but had fun doing it, and actually has spun off and he's going to be doing his own channel, and we'll talk about that in a future update or whatever once that's finally up and running. And then with 8-Bit, with my wife and I being able to play old school video games, that was a lot of fun. It was kind of short-lived because both of us are very, very busy, and dedicating an exact amount of time each week to that type of content is a little difficult, especially when I require her to do the Ball and Chain podcast. So there's going to be some changes coming forward with that. And then the laundry day stream as well. That was kind of that was really just a way for me to play video games while doing the laundry at the same time. So that really isn't content so much as more of me just playing video games while I do my laundry, quite literally. So at any rate, lots of good content on the channel, lots of good conversation happening both on the channel, on Facebook, and then also in Twitch. So like I said, I'm greatly appreciative of that type of stuff from you guys. I'm enjoying where we're at as far as where the growth has come from. Clearly, the Magic the Gathering content has picked up and really was kind of like the determining factor from us getting from 10 subscribers up to 47. So there is some things in the works for myself that we'll talk about here in a minute, to kind of bring more of that content to you guys later on down the road. There's a couple different things that I want to work on in the meantime, though. So let's get into the meat and potatoes, as they say, of this update. All right, excuse me. So there's a good side and a bad side to this update. So we're going to start with the bad. So for the summer, what we're going to be doing is all scheduled videos. We're going to be reducing the number of scheduled videos that we release every week. Essentially, what that means is we're going to take the Ball and Chain podcast. That's going to stay exactly the way it is. Every Wednesday, it's going to go live on Twitch, on Mixer, and then also on Facebook Live. Every Wednesday, about the same time, somewhere after the kids go to bed, about 9 o'clock-ish. My wife and I will be continuing to do that. We'll be talking about video games and all that other good stuff, movies, TV shows, comics, all that good stuff. Nothing is going to change about that. So that's going to stay. The other episodic content they're getting, the 8-bit, the Mana Drain, the Laundry Day stream, that kind of stuff, that weekly content that comes out every week. That doesn't make much sense. Weekly content that comes out every week. That weekly content that you receive in your news feed on a daily basis, those are going to be on hold. Those are going to be on hiatus till they'll probably return about mid-September. We're not canceling any shows or anything like that. We're not we're just gonna kind of take a break from them. There's some things that have come up that I'll actually kind of get into here in a minute that gives me hope that they'll come back better. So those 3 shows will be coming to a hiatus for the next couple months, and then returning like I said, mid to late September, and then for the non-scheduled videos, like the pre-release guides, the Magic preview season, board game reviews, and then the do-it-yourself stuff, like those kind of videos. Those are going to be changing up as well. So the board game reviews, those will continue as they're kind of like off the cuff, like one-off type of videos. They don't require a lot of resources. Like it's like, hey, I get a new game, and I want to talk about it. So boom, here it is. Here's what it contains, and here's a grade. Should you buy it? Shouldn't you buy it? Should you buy it? Shouldn't you buy it? This is the type of thing. Like those type of reviews, those are pretty straightforward. In fact, I've got 4 of them just finishing up editing right now. Those are set to come out at the beginning of July. So that content will continue. Those board game reviews, that will continue. As for like the Magic preview season and the pre-release season, pre-release guides, things like that, this is kind of why we're taking a break till mid-September. So we're going to take off the Core 19 release, so there won't be any pre-release guide or preview season. As you can tell, there hasn't been any on the channel for this upcoming set. So we're gonna take that week off, or that off, and then restart mid-September when the Guilds of Ravnica set starts to be spoiled. So you can foresee that content coming back, along with the Laundry Day stream and Mana Drained and 8-bit. All that stuff will come back kind of full force mid-September, mid to late September, possibly early October for things like 8-bit and stuff like that. So I'm really excited about that. But so you might be asking yourself, why the change? Why is it that we're reducing the actual episodes down, the content down, and just sticking with Mana Drain? Why wouldn't you stick with the Magic content, since that's what got you the most subscribers in the past few months or whatever? And that's a really good question. But I do this because I enjoy doing it, and I enjoy the Ball and Chain podcast because it's a chance for my wife and I to kind of sit down, talk to you guys, have some fun, sit back, talk about video games that we've been playing, talk about card games, tabletop stuff, really kind of encompass everything. And with the Mana Drain kind of going away, we're going to kind of bring that content into the Ball and Chain podcast, especially since our Fear the Walking Dead is on hiatus. And then also our TV shows are kind of going away, so there's going to be a little bit of a gap there for content. So this almost works out perfect. So Magic the Gathering content will be spliced into the Ball and Chain podcast a little bit. So for those of you that come to the channel for the the Magic the Gathering stuff, that kind of content, the preview cards and stuff like that. We won't go too far deep into into it like we did with the Mana Drain, but that's where you're going to find that content at. So I would highly recommend tuning into those channels on YouTube, on Twitch, and on Mixer and things like that on the Wednesdays to get that Magic content. But the reason why we're kind of putting these shows and podcasts on hiatus is what I'm planning to do is starting a videography business. Recently acquired a few pieces of equipment and decided, I'm looking to kind of expand my knowledge in the film industry and trying to kind of get my feet wet there. And what I'm thinking is this is going to improve the quality of the show itself, right? Right now we're recording on a Logitech, what is this, the C900 or 960 or whatever it is. So it's a decent camera, but being able to master my new camera and bring that into the fold as far as what I could offer you as far as clarity is concerned, is gonna be learned and is going to knowledge that I'm going to gain through this experience, through this venture. So, so I'm looking to do, like wedding videos, small business promotional videos, YouTube, things like that, for small businesses, and happy couples that are newlyweds and about, engagement, stuff like that. So, I'm looking to kind of get into that industry a little bit. Like I said, the commitment there is going to be, time, money, other resources just to kind of get that off the ground. And I've kind of allotted myself an extra, these next 2.5, 3 months to kind of get that business off the ground running, before I, say, okay, well, now we can start the content back up. So, like I said, not only am I going to be trying to master this other thing called videography, but I'm also trying to balance a 50-hour work week and family house and putting food on the table. So there's a lot of balls kind of in the air right now. A lot of balls in the air right now. So that's kind of what sparked this whole thing. It almost seemed perfect, with the shows on Ball and Chain podcast. Those ones kind of come to the end, so that content's kind of the content there. There's a slot open up for conversation there, so Magic the Gathering could kind of fill that slot a little bit. And who knows, maybe it'll just be me talking about Magic, or whatever at the end of the show or whatever. Maybe we'll just make a Mana Drain, segment or whatever, where it's just me. I don't know. We'll see. We really haven't thought about it that far in advance. But for now, like I said, those 3 shows are going to be on hiatus. And I really do enjoy talking about these different hobbies that I like playing, that I take part of, that my wife takes part of. Really enjoy talking to you guys about them, sharing my experiences with you. But I really think that this, going down this path and learning this trade and learning this skill really is going to help produce a better product for you guys to enjoy. Like I said in, I think it was in a past podcast, Ball and Chain podcast, that we're going to try and do some updates with the Ball and Chain podcast where we can take phone calls. That's something else that during this hiatus that I'm also going to be working on as well. Some updated graphics for 8-bit, because those they were god awful. So that's going to be something that I'm going to be looking into. And then also going to be working on our Patreon page now that I've got access to some better video equipment, making those types of videos and things like that for you guys, for the patrons of the show, the channels and things like that. So like I said, this, the Magic content's not going away completely. You can tune into the Ball and Chain podcast to get that stuff. But yeah, I'm excited about what this is gonna do for the family, what this is gonna do for the channel, and at the very least, it's something that I'm interested in and I'm looking forward to doing. Look at the picture quality of this. It just, every time I lean forward and backward, the stupid picture color changes. That's annoying to me. So hopefully that stops with the new equipment. At any rate. So what can you guys do to help the channel? What can you guys do to show your support for the channel? I mean, like I said, first off, tune into the Ball and Chain podcast as often as you can. Share the video, like the video, comment. All that stuff helps bring that information, bring that knowledge that we are out here talking to people in your circle. If you watch it, great. Leave a even if the comment's like simple, like, "Hey, what's up, guys?" Like that comment pings Facebook or pings pings Twitch or whatever, and it just shows a little bit extra support. It shows that you're interacting with it, to your friends and your on Facebook and things like that. So at the very least, show some support to the manager, to the Ball and Chain podcast on Wednesdays. I really appreciate it. You can still tune in, like I said, on twitch.tv/72DPI online. Follow the channel, the channel on our Twitter feed, which is at BC Podcast. Yes, at BC Podcast. It's not 72DPI online. That used to be us. We no longer have that Twitter feed for reasons that shall not be going to. So follow us on Twitter at BC Podcasts. We mostly talk about board games, Magic, and video game discussions there. Lots of fun stuff there. But I'm really looking forward to this coming September and kind of seeing what this type of what this type of skill is going to benefit us as a channel, as well as myself in my creative outlook here. So kind of looking forward to it. So if you have any questions at all, make sure you can reach out to us on Twitter. You can also reach out to us in YouTube or Facebook or whatever. We really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, guys. And as always, have a great night, and we will see you tomorrow for the Ball and Chain podcast. Have a great night.